Hey, and welcome to the LANDIS Look, where we take an inside look at the world of real estate. I'm Justin, and I'm here today with Ashton. Ashton, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Justin. Good to be here.
So, Ashton and I today are going to take an inside look at how to sell a house during COVID-19. And when this all started, we weren't sure exactly how we were going to sell houses during this time, but we knew we would figure it out. And Ashton has figured it out, and she's going to be filling you guys in on how that's worked today. So, Ashton, maybe start with a little bit about what's changed over the last month.
Yeah, hey, it's business as usual in an unusual way.
Yeah.
That's how we're operating. And you're 100% right. Yeah, it was a little scary at first because we wanted to adapt and we wanted our clients to continue to win, no matter what market we're in, and that's what we've always aimed to achieve for our seller clients. And ultimately, we've had to change some processes, both from a safety standpoint as well as just within guidelines of what we are actually able to do. And thankfully, in Georgia and Atlanta, the real estate is deemed essential or has been deemed essential, an essential service, and that's super helpful because we can operate, which we're super grateful for, and people still need homes. We're thankfully in a business that people always need that shelter over their head, and they have timelines and they have goals, and we're still able to help them achieve those. We have, of course, like you mentioned, had to pivot a bit in how we're doing business, and first and foremost, we've really developed about an 8-step process to allow our clients to operate virtually and sell their home completely virtually at this point, which is really, really neat. It's a little bit of a bummer because we can't be there to shake their hand and to hug them at closing and some of those favorite times during the process. But rest assured, we will show up and hug you later. After it's all said and done. So the first step to this virtual home selling process is a virtual consultation. We are able to get on Zoom just like we are right now and have a conversation about your home. You can walk us through your home, so we don't have to sell it without seeing it. We can see it, and we'll do a quick walkthrough with you. We'll then sit down just as we would normally at your kitchen table or in your living room and talk through our selling process, and really, first and foremost, just help you craft a great solution around your goals, whether that's to sell in the immediate future or even if your sell is 6 or 12 months out. We would love that opportunity to go ahead and have that conversation with you, because as we've said before, it's just never too soon to start. And what better time than now, when you may have some extra time on your hands, to start thinking about your next move. And because we can do that completely virtually, that eliminates folks coming through your home and in that process for you. After that consultation, we have a wonderful visual coordinator who helps us prep our listings for the market. She's also operating virtually right now. So she will essentially follow that same process of getting either on FaceTime or Zoom or some other electronic platform or virtual platform, and help you identify the things that need to be done prior to shooting photographs and having folks come through your home. So we're following that same process that we would always follow that really helps our sellers win, but we're doing that completely virtually.
And after seeing this done a couple of times, I think there was a little bit of apprehension of like, will something be lost in the process? But it really isn't. It really hasn't.
No, the biggest thing that's lost is that we just can't be there with you, and just the part that for me personally, I miss a ton.
Yeah.
There's no greater honor to me than to be invited into our clients' homes and to sit down and strategize with them and see their dogs and meet their kids and all those fun things. And yet it's so amazing that we're able to not have a big shift in our process and still allow a great experience for our clients that want to sell.
Yeah. So have the virtual consult, and then have the virtual visual coordination appointment. So sellers are now getting their house ready. What's
So
next?
that's really that's step one. So virtual consults of all sorts. Step number two is going to be a market analysis. So we're going to, of course, discuss a listing price, marketing, those little final touches on your home from a staging perspective, and really just get that game plan in place with you, which again we'll do virtually. So we'll have that conversation, initial conversation and consult, and then from there we'll begin that process. Step number three is we will electronically, and we have always been doing this, by the way, but we'll electronically sign paperwork that'll allow us to actually list your home and represent you in the sale of your property, as well as fill out any of the disclosure forms that buyers will want to see prior to making an offer. So with wonderful electronic signing programs, we're able to do that. So it makes things easier for you, and you can do it in your PJs. So that's always fun. And then number four is going to be the pre-marketing phase. And this is honestly my favorite part of the process, where we're starting to build momentum and buzz around your home prior to it even hitting the market. And we follow, the great thing about this time is we're still able to follow our entire pre-marketing process, which, is a coming soon listing, coming soon sign in the yard, or photography, floor plans, videos. Right now we are really focusing on virtual tours of our listings, and we were doing virtual tours before anybody was doing virtual tours back a few years ago. And what we found is nobody watched them. And the cool thing is now they're watching them again. So we're doing them again, and that's really been fun to see. And it's honestly a great keepsake for our clients too, and helps with furniture placement in the next home and things of that sort. So we're following that entire coming soon process. And that's really the most important thing about that process is it's geared towards building buzz and momentum prior to you even hitting the market. We're reaching out to our agent network, the buyers that we've identified as likely to be a buyer for your property, really leaving no stone unturned in finding, building that momentum and finding the buyer for your home. And that's not to show the house before it's listed or to take an off-market offer. We're still big proponents of getting you top market value by getting, heading to the market, if that is your goal. And yet, that pre-marketing phase allows us to build momentum. And then, on to number five, that would be our official launch of your listing. And we're still using the same process for that, which we'll be happy to go into in full detail with our clients, and really capitalizing on that online exposure. We have a full-time marketing specialist on our team that's helping us execute social media marketing, virtual brochures, everything in between to really blast your home out there. One thing that's really interesting is we have tripled our online marketing efforts over the past 5 weeks, in an effort to really make sure that all eyes are on your listing. Our clients are getting maximum exposure. Because we can't have open houses, because we can't do some of those in-person marketing efforts at this point in time, doesn't mean we can't get maximum exposure for your home. So we're aimed at doing that.
Yeah, you can actually get more eyes on the property now while it is digitally, because more people are online more than ever at this point.
They really are.
And so we're able to actually get more views that way, which then brings more serious folks to the house. Because you mentioned the video, and it is so funny because we were doing video years ago, and we bought this super expensive camera and we were shooting them, and hardly anybody would watch them because people would just come to the house. Yeah. And then now that we're seeing, yes, everybody is watching them. And what are they finding out? It's actually super helpful. It is really helpful to see them.
Yeah. Yeah, people really like them, and I think it also is a big time saver. If you have kids, and even if you would be okay with coming out to a property right now, being able to watch that video, especially if you have kiddos or you're really burning the midnight oil with your job or whatever the case may be, it's helpful to save some time, and not have to get in the car to come and see the property. And it gets, there really is still no substitution for being in a home and feeling the home, because unfortunately video, you don't know what the house smells like. So you don't have, but all of our listings smell good. So you don't have to they all smell good. But nonetheless, that's really the biggest element is you don't know what it was like, and somebody said that to me the other day, and I was like, that is a good point. You don't. So, and then, to cap that, we are doing virtual showings. So we'll have folks watch a video. We will also do FaceTime or Zoom for showings. I did one of those for one of our listings in Grant Park this past week, and it went great. I was able to talk to the buyers about the home, and walk them through it, and really point in on some details and show them, what the closet space was like, and some of the things that you might not see on a video, but would if you were actually in person. And that worked out really great. And then again, although you can completely sell it virtually, we are operating with in-person showings when our sellers are comfortable, and when buyers are comfortable, and we're of course doing those in the safest manner possible. We're providing, of course, sanitizing products, asking that everybody wear a mask, that they don't touch anything. All lights will be on, all closets will be open, and it makes for that essentially contactless showing, which has been a great additional tie on for our clients.
Yeah. And it's been neat to see this because if you looked at, I love the numbers. If you looked at the number of actual in-person showings, it's a small fraction, but we've had 17 houses go under contract in the last 7 days. And because the only time, once you have taken the time to watch the video, do a virtual showing, most people are now driving by, before scheduling a showing to make sure they like the exterior and the lot and all that. The only folks who are coming are highly serious. You didn't mention this, but we're asking for everyone's pre-qualification before they come, so you don't have any looky-loos, that sort of stuff. And so, it's really low number of showings relative to number of offers if you looked at that relative to before. And I honestly think that's better all around. Take out the current situation. You're selling a house, wouldn't you rather have one offer with 3 showings than 13 showings in one offer? It's just better.
Yeah. I think that, it is a little bit different because we're used to seeing 20 showings come through. So that's been a little bit of a shock, to some of our seller clients. And really, the expectation is lower at this point, that we're not going to have as many people come through, but the people that do come through are going to be 100% serious. And we've already passed, several different parameters we checked a lot of boxes for them already. And then the final stamp of approval, before they make an offer, is to come see it in person, if they are even electing to do an in-person showing. And I think that's really powerful, and something that, I could see changing the way that we do business long term. These are great things, for our clients, and that means less time for you to have to clean up. And another thing that we are offering to our clients, and we did this a few weeks ago, and it works super well, and really provided our sellers with comfort, is we actually hosted the showings, and we still made them appointment only. We still followed a specific process, but we did small showing blocks for 3 days. Over the course of the first weekend on market. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, for 2 hours each. And we still staggered the showings during that window, but it was wonderful because they only had to sanitize once. And they got to be out for a short amount of time during the day. And that was a really nice way to do business, and for them to feel comfortable as well.
Yeah. So we get the person who wants to buy the house, get the offer. What happens from there?
Yeah, so we got the offer and the inspection process. Well, I guess I said the other part was my favorite part, but this is, really the best part. Everybody wants to get an offer. We're not listing houses not to get offers, right? So, so this is the most exciting part for the seller for sure, is negotiating the offer, and we do that as we normally would. Again, we'll electronically sign once all parties have agreed upon the negotiation items, and then from there it's on to inspection. The biggest thing about the inspection process is, unfortunately, it cannot be done virtually. That is the only part that can't be. But the great thing is, you don't have to be there. The buyer now, in most cases, will also not be there. So it's just an inspector in your home who is fully geared up. I've seen our inspectors recently, and they look like they're in hazmat suits. And it's been great to see though that they're taking those extra precautions and safety measures. So they will come through, they'll do their thing for a couple hours, and then that inspection negotiation begins, just as it always would. And again, we can do that completely virtually. And then really from there, you're packing up, you're moving, and you're off to closing, which is now done virtually. Our wonderful closing partners and closing attorneys have set up curbside closings, which is probably my favorite thing ever. I think that's great. We also have the ability to do video closings, power of attorney, mailaways, whatever you want, whatever aligns best with your schedule and your life setup. And the great thing about it is as a seller, your funds are wired. So you don't even have to worry about depositing a check. That money just shows up in your account after everything is closed and funded. And the only thing we don't get to do again is shake hands and hug and toast to a great transaction. And yet here pretty soon we'll be knocking at your door to have that time.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about that closing process, this is something where there's been great collaboration between the government. You weren't allowed to notarize on video prior to this. The closing attorneys, the lenders, everyone coming together to figure out how to do things. And it's something that is, more efficient. It is easier to do it over video and sign it at your house than to go to Buckhead at 4 o'clock on a Friday. And
it always is. It's always Buckhead at 4 o'clock on a Friday.
Right. I don't know why that is like the common location and time. But there's bad traffic, FYI. And so, yeah, way easier to do that over video. And it's neat to see the creativity that's come together to make that happen.
It really is. And, I'm just so grateful for the wonderful people that we've aligned ourselves with, and that ultimately we've aligned our clients with, and to become a part of our bigger, our bigger team, to make things easier for our clients. And again, I think people are going to be requesting curbside closings for many days to come, even after everything is over here. So it's been great. It's been really great to see. And that's 8 steps to a virtual home sale. And, again, that starts with a virtual consult, which we can arrange really easily for you. A market analysis and staging process that will take place virtually. Number 3 is electronically signing, pre-marketing, your actual official launch on the market, virtual showings, offer negotiations, and then finally step 8, closing.
I like it. Ashton, thanks for sharing those 8 steps. It really is cool to see how you've been able to help so many people, even in a challenging time. Really appreciate that. I know our clients do too. Everyone, thanks for watching the LANDIS Look today. We will see you guys again next week. If you have any specific questions about your own house, your own situation, do what so many of you do. Drop us a private message or send us an email, and we'd love to help you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Ashton.
Bye-bye.